Good day. It's a pleasure and privilege for me to come into your homes by this video tape here, and so I want to just welcome you. It's the feast of the birth of John the Baptist, Thursday the 24th of June. It's a great feast in the church because Jesus himself said that there was never a man born of woman that was greater than John the Baptist. He was a precursor and preparer of the world to receive Jesus Christ. And that's what you and me, that's our vocation too. To let people know that God cares, and He's around, and we're preparing for His coming and acceptance into the minds of other people. We don't have to go out and live in deserts like He did. We already live in a desert. But the fact is that but we have to do that by word and particularly by example. So it's a great feast, and we ask the intercession of John the Baptist to give us the courage and the enthusiasm that we need to be forerunners of the Lord too. We anticipate next week on Wednesday, the last day of the month, that the governor is going to lift a lot of restrictions, probably all the restrictions that bind us to the pandemic because of the pandemic. But doesn't mean the pandemic's going away. And while we might get back to a semblance of normal, there's some things we're going to have to keep. And we met the other day as a presbyterate with the bishop, and we talked this over and felt that we will not yet use holy water. We won't have the holy water fonts filled, nor will we have communion under both species yet, because we'll just keep with the one species. And also, Eucharistic ministers will wear masks. Things become such a close contact with so many people. I'm not afraid of you, but I want you to make sure that you're not afraid of me. And so we're going to protect you from our germs as we distribute the Eucharist. Masks are still maybe worn, of course, at church, and particularly if you have symptoms of any flu-like disease or cold, we ask you to wear masks. If you have allergies or weather, and that they say probably will be faced later in the summer with more smoke from forest fires, something to consider. A mask is a help for those things. And we also respect the decisions of those who decide not to be vaccinated, although at the same time I encourage you to take advantage of this really a blessing, which gives people much more satisfaction and a sense of being ready and prepared. So I would encourage as many of you as possible from 12 years old and up to get vaccinated as soon as possible. I just remember how much firmness it can put to my life, and I didn't have to fear anymore of getting that disease, that terrible disease. We're going to renew in the next, as you know, we have already renewed the idea of bringing down the gifts at the communion, at the offertory rather, presentation of gifts. We bring down the hosts in a covered container, a ciborium, and we bring down the water and wine too that will be used for these celebrations. We're also going to renew the use of servers, mass servers, every day, and hope that some of you will encourage, particularly your young people, to volunteer as servers. All you have to do is call the office and put your name down, and they'll be forwarded to our deacon, Tim Wazinski, who takes care and trains all our mass servers and acolytes. Let's see, what else we have today? Oh yeah, Sunday, this coming Sunday is the 100th anniversary of the Young Ladies Institute, YLI, a wonderful organization, a sister's organization to really give not only social activities to the women of the area, but also to do wonderful works. And they raise money in many ways and support our seminarians too and our diocese. And we're very indebted to the YLI and to the Catholic Daughters of the Americas too. But the YLI is celebrating the 100th anniversary this coming Sunday, and we rejoice with them and for them on this great occasion. Also, Sunday's the retirement party for Tim McGree. Tim has been the president of LaSalle High School for years and years. I don't know how many years. I knew him when he was a little kid, but now that he's retiring, it makes me feel older too. But we want to thank him for the wonderful job he's done to lead LaSalle High School to be one of the prime educating institutions of our whole valley and our Catholic high school here. And we thank him for his wonderful, dedicated work and all the time that he has put in over the years. We also want to congratulate Ted Kanonopoulos, who's been the principal of LaSalle for many years and is now taking on the added responsibility of being president. The president is a lot to do with PR, public relations, and also raising funds, the support of the school and for help with tuition. And he's taking on a huge job combining those two jobs together, at least for a while. But he has also done a marvelous job. That whole school, LaSalle High School, is a credit to the to Cardinal George, who was our bishop here back in the 90s, and to Tim and all those people who worked to have it established, especially to the Christian brothers, the Italian Christian brothers. We're grateful to them for the marvelous help they've given and still give to make this high school a reality in our community. You know, I've talked about it before, but I belong to a group, we call it Jesu Caritas, Jesus Charity Love. And it's a support group, really spiritual support group for priests and others as well, but in the diocese here, it's kind of restricted to priests, and I belong to it had a group here for, I don't know how many years, probably at least 25, maybe over 30 years. And we're resuming our meetings. We haven't been able to meet because of the pandemic for many months. We haven't met actually as a group since last August when we made a retreat up in the mountains at the cabin of Art and Joanne Marsh, who have been so gracious to loan us the use of that cabin for so many years. We're resuming those meetings this next Tuesday and Wednesday. So I'll be out of town on Tuesday and Wednesday next week, from Tuesday noon through Wednesday to the Wednesday afternoon. It's really a great support group, spiritual help and just relaxation too for the 7 of us that belong to this particular group. And we're going to meet and gather this next Tuesday and Wednesday up at the cabin that is so graciously provided the use by Art and Joanne Marsh. They're so generous with their use of their beautiful cabin up there on toward Chinook Pass. On a week next Sunday, a week from Sunday rather, is the 4th of July, of course, and we have to reflect on the magnificence of the nation we're privileged to live in. Yes, it's got its faults and problems, sure, but so do we all, in our own families and in the church too. But it's a wonderful privilege to be able to be a part of this nation. And we thank God that He has blessed us and continues to bless us as a people. And we treasure the gift of the democratic gift that we have of democracy. And we dedicate ourselves to building up that democracy, not tearing it down. There's been a lot of dangers to it and maybe damage done to it lately, but we have to build that up and cherish it as a great gift, because it is an experiment in democracy. And it's very fragile. And we can lose it if we don't really treasure it and work to build it up. So I refer that to your consideration and prayerful consideration as we approach the 4th of July. Summer's coming, it's already here, as you know. Today is up in the high 90s, and the rest of this week it's supposed to be, in the first part of next week, it's supposed to be up in the triple digits. It's like living down in Phoenix, Arizona, or Sun Valley or someplace. But is there climate change? Judge for yourself. But be careful in this hot weather. And if it's too hot, by the way, don't try to come out to church either. We don't want anybody to suffer by striving to come to Mass. You're excused, and we want you to take care of yourselves, especially. I want to thank you for your continued support of this parish community. It's so generous. You've been so good and so wonderful all during the pandemic. The 15 months that we really have intervened since the beginning of that pandemic. You've been really marvelous, and I want to thank you in the name of our whole parish community. But I, as your pastor, am particularly grateful. It takes a great burden off my shoulders because of your generosity, that we don't have to worry about paying the day-to-day bills of air conditioning and lighting and all those sort of things that come to us as well as come to you in your own homes. We've done a lot of work this summer, as you know. In the spring and summer, we're looking right now to get a new computer system for our offices. The one we have now I'm sure it's at least 20 years old, but you can't even get parts for anything now when they go down. So we're in the process right now of getting an updated computer system. We've already had a new telephone system put in, and we have also put a roof on the office building here, which was in dire need of a new roof. That's fire resistant, and it's supposed to be good for 50 years, long after I'm gone. And we've built a new fountain. The inspiration and kind of the kick of Don Harris, he's kind of started that whole concept. But he got injured. He fell around Christmas time, and we did it. We finished it. He couldn't do it himself, but we finished it. It's kind of in his name, in a sense, and we want to thank him for that inspiration that he gave us to do that. We've also done a lot of work with the gym in our school, the floor, and also the roof, and it just kind of cleaned up the area around here. And around the front of the office building, we put a new driveway in on the north of our office building, and the whole front landscaping has been done over. And between ourselves and the city, we've got a new sidewalk out there, so you don't have to worry about uneven ground when you try to walk on the sidewalk coming into the office. So we try to do a lot of things, and it's only possible because you have been so generous in continuing support. We try to bring things up to par, so that whoever comes after me too will be able to come in not having to face those problems of fixing things that should have been fixed a long time ago. So we're trying to do that right now. We're doing a lot of postponed weddings and funerals too, and baptisms. And I want to welcome you to come back. If you have postponed baptisms, give us a call, and we'll try to schedule very soon. We're beginning to get back to the Sunday celebration of baptism during Sunday Mass. I've had most baptisms in the chapel privately, but now with the pandemic more under control, if you would like to have it done, we can transfer that private celebration into a Sunday celebration with the community, because after all, it's an initiation into the community of faith, and that's the symbolism is much more striking when we do this on a Sunday morning or a Sunday evening or Saturday evening when there's a congregation there, because it's a welcoming into the community of faith, and that's really a wonderful sign. I'm grateful personally to our bishop. He gave a marvelous intervention at the United States Catholic Conference of Catholic Bishops. They had a meeting here. It was a virtual meeting, but he gave a very well thought out and balanced intervention full of common sense to the bishops, and I really hope that many of them will take heed to that common sense. As you know, there's been a real split with many of our bishops that have sometimes been, I think, a little fanatical on either one side or the other, but it'll all even out. The church will keep going. Jesus promised, I'll be with you always, and I believe that. You know, but it's kind of going through a rough time here in our own country at the moment, and many of you have followed that, and you've seen it on TV, on references, and on the news, and all the different places. So we don't deny that there's a need of unity, a greater need of unity and balance in our Catholic bishops as well as the church in general. Anyways, thank you again for being who you are. Thank you for being the people of St. Paul Cathedral Parish. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to serve you over and over again. It's a delight for me personally, and for Father Jesus, who serves you with me, and for the staff here of our Cathedral Parish. We rejoice that we're able to be of service to you, the people of God, because the church isn't just a building, you know that. It's not just a building or the priests and religious or staff, no. The church is the people of God. And even though we're blessed by having a beautiful edifice to worship in, if the whole thing were destroyed tomorrow, we'd still have church, we'd still be church. I hope and pray it won't be destroyed, because it's a beautiful structure that we are privileged to worship in every week. And I thank God for you, and I thank God for the opportunity to serve you, and I ask God's blessing upon all of you, the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.